Good night, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm starting way later than I wanted to, so it might not be a long stream tonight. But I'll get into it later in a bit. Yeah, tonight's Sorcery. Been excited to play this. I bought it a bit ago, and I wanted to wait for like maybe a day where I could stream this. And today just I planned on it. I don't have as much. Well, I do have a lot of work, but I kind of planned on having a light day today. So we're gonna stream some Steve Jackson's Sorcery. So let's go to the media room. Okay. So let's see here. I need to check if let me start the game up. So it's here. I want to stay in the window. No. Okay, so it's not. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Okay. What I do want to know. Okay, I think. Do I want to keep. I think this game could use like the full screen experience. And I'm gonna try not to be very distracting. Let's see here. Where's the model? Where's the model? That's the one thing I just... Oh, there we go. We're gonna go small. I'm gonna try and center this a little bit. And we're gonna turn the background off just to avoid having those like white spaces. Background squares. I don't know if apologies. I don't know if like alright, maybe this little guy needs to be smaller. Just maybe it's a tiny little guy. Okay. Let's see here. Begin your adventure. Is this okay? Hold on a second. Toggle full screen. Oh, okay, there we go. I think that works. So what the hell is this? This is a this is Steve Jackson's Sorcery, and this is kind of like these were games. This is a game based on a choose your own adventure book. And they are. It's pretty like. I mean, I haven't played it myself. I've seen Droma play this, and it looks very fun. It's pretty much just a game where you go around and it's a reading game almost. There's combat, but it's not like crazy intricate. It's just it's fun. I mean, it's just a chill time. It's nothing crazy. You pretty much choose things, and your adventure progresses depending on the choices that you have made. But yeah, it's kind of like if you've ever played. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, okay, we're gonna go with this guy. Hold on. I gotta make sure that it's not too loud. Okay. You have walked the wilds of Kakabad, through Kare, the spiteful backlands, all the way into Mampag. You have survived traps, thieves, serpents, and vengeful gods. And now it is here. The Crown of Kings! Your mic is a bit loud. It's peaking? Okay, give me 1 second. Is it peaking now? Is that good? Is that good? Does that work? Better, okay. It is said the crown was never forged, only found by Kalana, the reformer, a lowly foot soldier who became emperor of the Eastern world. Such is the power of the crown. The air around it crackles with influence. Do we take it or we wait? I say take it. Your destiny awaits. With the crown in your hands, you will be as powerful as Kalana. The goblins are arming. The giants are waking. And the birdmen carving cruel daggers from stone. War will come, but you will prevent it. But then, the image of the crown begins to flicker. You rush forwards. It's a trap. And startle yourself awake. You are alone, exhausted, in the little hut in the outpost settlement. Your unimaginable journey is not even a single step begun. Inko presents Steve Jackson Sorcery. Part 1. The Shamutani Hills. Okay, so here we have a very simple menu. I mean, we have our items, our spellbook, our prey, which is we pick a god, and our god at the moment is the Panther. I think we have like a huge delay. But to take the crown means just to start the game. Because there's like, I mean, I think there's significant delays. What's gonna happen is that I will just like whenever there's like a decision to be made, I will wait like a minute for people to make choices. Another thing that's important is that the music here is good, but if people like I don't like it's very like an immersive game. I don't want to ruin it by adding music, but if it gets like to a point where like people really want that, then I'll think about it. But here, we're gonna continue. It is sunrise. You dress, breakfast on bed, and goat's milk, and collect the pact and sword from beside your bed. Alright, so test the blade, pray for luck, and then leave the hut. I will make the first choices here just to keep things like moving forward a little bit. I do want to test the blade. You pause to test the blade against your thumb. The blacksmith has done well. The edge is keen and draws a narrow line of blood. Outside the hut, you hear the outpost settlement stirring into life. Pray for luck. Take a moment more. Taking a moment more, you close your eyes and raise a prayer to your spirit guide. This morning, it has taken the form of a panther. But what will it become once your journey truly begins? A great calm descends upon you. Alright, time to go. Time then to depart. You lift back the flap of the hut and step into the early morning sunshine. Alright, so we're gonna go to the outpost settlement. Eyes follow you as you leave the hut and walk towards the great Shamutani wall. The frontier people of this tiny settlement are well aware of your mission. Alright, let's greet them. You turn to them and bow. Some smile in reply, but are too afraid to approach. Others make great gestures of protection. You are going beyond the wall, so they believe you to be cursed. A man is waiting on the path to the Kantopani Gate, the final doorway between Analand and the wilds of Kakabad. You recognize the sergeant of the Sightmaster warriors. He holds out his hand. And so, you got this little guy. The art here is great. I love the art in this game. From the stuff that I've seen. If I'm not mistaken, it's taken directly from the books. And for what it's worth, I've heard that this game is a one-to-one recreation of the game, so of the book. So, but this is awesome. Yeah, I don't know if my model is too distracting though. But for the moment, I'll keep it. All right. Greetings, Sergeant. Greetings, Sergeant. He touches his forehead with 2 fingers. You are almost ready, he says. I have a gift for you from the king. 24 gold pieces. It is all we can spare this time. He holds out a pouch. I'll take it. You accept the gift graciously. Thank you. You should buy some supply. You should buy some supplies before you pass the wall, says the sergeant. And you must collect your spellbook if you wish magic to aid you. Finally, should you wish to practice your swordplay, I will go one last round with you. He points with his staff towards the training ground. Okay, so first things first, let's collect our spellbook. One of the huts, set slightly back from the others, is decorated with glyphs and strange symbols. A terrible smell emanates from its doorway. This is the hut of the chief mage. He has been preparing your spellbook for days, reading star charts to work out which spells will be available to you in the different locations in the hills and beyond. Let's go inside. You lift the flap, then go inside. The mage looks up to you with haggard, sleepless eyes and presses the book into your hands. Do you understand how to use this? He asks. Tell me. Each spell is crafted through the alignment of 3 stars. He begins. The spell Zap, for example, is made by aligning Zarathustra, Aegis, and Pini. But that is not important. What matters is what the spell is called and what it does. Zap will give you control over lightning, Hot will create a fireball, Puff will create a force field around you. Shall I continue? Tell me more. The mage nods. The law spell is formed from Lilith, Aegis, and Wax. It will allow you to control the will of unintelligent creatures. The wall spell is quite effective. It's quite different and uses different stars. The order matters, you see. Wall creates an invisible barrier. You will find the rest in the book, he adds, tapping the leather-bound volume. Thank you. He scratches absently at his ear. Remember, some spells will cost you effort to use, but the ones that don't will not work without focus. An item of some kind. You will need to read the book to know what. Research magic using the spellbook button on the map. Here is the map. Okay, so our spellbook. So there are 48 spells, and I think a lot of them you have to discover them. So for now, we only know Zap, Fop, Law, Dumb, Hot, Wall. So right from the start, we can pick these three. Let's see here. All these spells are extremely tiring and will cost you 3 points of stamina. Okay, that's important. That's my HP. Once it hits 0, I'm dead. So I need to be careful, and like the run ends. There's another important thing that you need to keep in mind is that you can rewind, and I'm not gonna set any rules about not rewinding. Like we'll just rewind. But I will try to if I let you guys choose or I choose something, I will try to like just stay committed. But in some cases where like maybe if we don't have something specific happen, then maybe we can rewind a little bit. Or I'll leave it up to you guys to decide if like we want to rewind or not. More economical versions exist, though some rely on the caster owning particular items of power. So yeah. Some of the spells require certain items, and sometimes you'll find out what a spell is, but then we might not have the item for the rest of the run. So it really depends. And this book, this series of games is split into 4 chapters, and we're in the first one. These are pretty long, but they're fun, and it might let me do a little bit of like, you know, for what it's worth, good or bad, some voice acting. Let's buy some rations first. Small trade. Okay, hold on. Small traders in the settlement supply the site master warriors with weapons, armor, food, and clothing. You go over with the sergeant to stall selling flatbread and cheese. All right, 2 gold pieces per ration, the owner says. Do we want to buy 1 ration, 2 rations, buy more, or do we want to haggle? I will probably want to try to haggle, but what do you guys think? Haggle, okay. Do you know who I am? I am Analand's great hero, you tell him. The man looks uncomfortable. Well, I know that, but I've to feed my family today, whatever happens to the crown. Alright, well, I'll buy 2 rations. It kind of just makes sense. You hand over your coins, and the man places 2 rations carefully into your pack. You must be sure to eat every day or you will suffer. The sergeant tells. I don't even remember what voice I did for the guy. Eating more will give you extra strength, but it's not necessary. Check the contents of your pack using... Okay. So we can check our items. So we got our spell book, our weapons or rations, which is just this. And then treasure. What's our treasure? 20 gold pieces. Our weapons. So we just have a sword. Rations. You don't get a whole lot of rations in the game, from what I remember, and you have to manage your gold pretty well. So let's go to the training ground. You walk with the sergeant to the training ground, and he wraps the base of his staff in leather. Ready my sword. To begin, the sergeant says, we will practice the stances. First, defend yourself against me. Choose your attack power by dragging the character sideways. To defend, stay fully left. So we can... Okay. So, okay, you have what's attack power, right? There are varying degrees of power, and usually you want to have, like, your number, whatever you end up putting here has to be bigger than the number that whatever character on the right does to deal damage. If you deal. I think they're gonna explain, so we're gonna defend. So I took 1 damage. The Sight Master is a powerful enemy. By defending, you will receive the minimum damage from any attack he makes. The Sight Master Sergeant chooses a strong attack. You turn it away with minimum impact. My next attack will be of medium strength, he declares, but you will be able to overpower me. To overpower the Sight Master, perform a strong attack by sliding your character to the right. So we want to go all the way somewhere around maybe 6.9. There we go. So there you go. You play a strong attack. Sorry. You play a strong attack, overpowering the Sight Master Sergeant, who tries a weak attack, which has left them exposed. A stronger losing attack will lead to more damage. So if I do a lot of, so if I slide a lot, right? And let's say I went for a 6 and he got a 7 or an 8, I will get hit harder, but it will also happen to them. My next attack will be weak, he declares. You will be able to overpower me by playing a stronger attack. Be sure your attack is stronger. Make a strong attack by pulling your character to the right. So we just go all the way here. Cut. You chose a powerful attack, overpowering the Sight Master Sergeant again. He bows. You have finished me. Excellent. 1 stamina loss, skilled swordplay. Continue. You seem to remember the basics, the sergeant says, breathlessly. Good. Another round? I think that's enough training. I think I got it. You shake your head. Very good. The sergeant agrees. But if you wish about in earnest, then I warn you, I will not go easy on you. He indicates the wider yard where there is space for a true match. I don't remember. Do we want to fight him or do we just want to keep going? Approaching the gate would just continue the story. Fighting him, I don't remember if there's any point. Fight? Alright, let's fight. You head over to the yard to practice a bout of real fighting. The sergeant removes the cloth padding from the base of his staff. Unsheath my sword. This time I will not tell you my intentions, he says. You will have to read them for yourself. Be ready. Defend. Alright, 1. The Sight Master smiles at you, taps the ground with his long staff and takes his position. You drop into a defensive crouch immediately. The Sight Master is not to be trifled with. The Sight Master Sergeant comes in with a tough blow, balancing his strength and his impact. You escape mostly uninjured. So he was 3 points. So I'm gonna go. Let's go for a 6. Cut. There we go. Time to attack. You rush forward with a deep, heavy slash, overwhelming his own staff swing. You cut him deep in the side. His tunic reddens. You see his grip change with the heel of his staff as he readies to strike again. I'm gonna go. Cool. There we go. There we go. Relentlessly, you cut and thrust, keeping him pinned. You sweep your sword across his body with powerful force. It is enough to finish him. The Sight Master throws down his staff. You have me, he declares with a grin. 1 stamina lost. Skilled swordplay. Yay, we won. The sergeant is grasping for breath. He bows to you once more. Excellent, he declares. Few men have ever bested me. You truly are Analan's best hope. As he talks, a nearby healer hurries over with the salve, and your health and the sergeant's is quickly restored. Alright, let's go approach the gate. You reach the foot of the mighty gate. It is sealed. The sergeant places one hand on the wood. The gate has been locked for some time to deter raiders, he tells you. But you will have no difficulty. The stars in this place allow the DOP spell to be crafted. And he stands back. Cast a spell. Okay, so here's how spells work. You get the choice, usually in situations, and then you have this alphabet soup here. And then once you pick a letter, it will give you the choices of different letters that you can pick. So we can spell D-O-P. Opens, locks, and doors. Cast. You weave the spell, one by one. The great tumblers on the door begin to creak and groan. Then the hinges turn, with a noise like hail on the canvas roof. These gates have not opened since our last champion was lost, the sergeant says. I wish you more luck than he. Perhaps you will even meet him on your travels. I fear he is dead. If I overtaking him, then he is too slow. That does not concern me. All of these are kind of like... I don't want to sound like an asshole, but yeah, if I overtake him, he's too slow. If I overtake him, then he is too slow. The sidemaster nods, peering into something on the horizon. I believe he is returning, but transformed. I hope you do not meet the same fate. He claps you on the shoulder, claps them cheeks. Enter the gate. Together you step into the shadow of the wall. One last word, he declares. When you have the crown, find the highest point you can find. We will be watching. I understand. I will not wish you a safe journey to Kare, for the way ahead will not be safe. The sergeant murmurs. He peers into the distance through the open gate. The Sidemaster warriors are selected from birth. For their incredible powers of telescopic visions, you cannot help but wonder how far he can see. Tell me what lies ahead. Tell me what lies ahead. This path leads to the first to the This path leads first to the Kantopani, a settlement of traders, though most are rogues and thieves. You should be there before the sun has reached its peak. From there, 3 routes lead on to Kristatani, but no single route is safe. Kakabad is a land of devils. And beyond Kare? I cannot see so far, he says. But once you have crossed the city port of trucks, you will enter the backlands. They say that day and night are controlled by forces other than the sun. And from Kare, too, your progress will be watched. It is time to go. You thank him, you pass through the gate. The faces of the folk watching your departure reveal the hopes that rest on you and your quest. The morning air is crisp, and the rising sun paints the slopes in shades of peaceful beauty, concealing the evil that lights ahead. All right, so let's move into Kakabad. The path winds through the slopes of wild scrubland. The countryside is deserted, and the eerie silence is broken only by the cawing of the occasional crow. There is a spell for hearing what they say, but you do not have the equipment it requires. The birds appear to pause in the air, to examine you as they pass. Stupid creatures, they pose no threat, so you ignore it. Barely an hour beyond the wall, and the air begins to grow foul. The Shamutani hills are infested with the pestilence of the backlands. It saps the energy from your body, leaving you feeling nauseous and weak. Cover my mouth. You cover your mouth with the neck scarf, but it does no good. They warned you of this. You will grow accustomed to it the longer you are out there. But for the moment, you must be very careful. Your maximum stamina just has decreased. You will... Oh, come on. Stamina can be regained up to the maximum by eating or resting. Well, we're not gonna... Okay, so... can I zoom out? Okay. So here's the map of the first area, right? We got two roads. We can go through Kantopani, or we can go through the countryside, which will probably lead us in this direction, while this one is probably just going to take us this way. Which, it'll lead to here. But this is where we want to get Ari. Also, I can find some music, but if we're okay with just being silent, that's fine. Because this game has... The music in this game is pretty good when it pops up, but it doesn't generally. Right now we have the gorilla. But I don't remember if I was able to pick. Let's see. Okay, hold on. So we travel across country, we're gonna go this way. But if we go this way... A low rise. I want to explore the mines, because I think there might be something interesting there, so we're gonna go this way. Another hour passes, and you crest a small hillock from the top, of which you can see a path continuing downwards into a settlement of huts. This must be Kantopani. Look at the village. From this distance, it's hard to make out much about the town, except that it must be desperately poor. The fields on either side are brown and caked with mud, and the few penned animals are thin and wizened like thirsty vines. No wonder the Sidemaster warrior don't... Oh, sorry. Let me take that again. No wonder the Sidemaster warriors don't trouble themselves to protect this place. There is nothing here to protect. Okay, we can avoid the village, or we can go through Kantopani. I'm afraid that something here might be, but I do want to... I feel like if we go through the village, it might be like a waste of time. But let's go through the village. Of course, if you were scared of a town like Kantopani, then you would have no hope to survive in Kakabat proper. You follow the path down into the town. The round huts are made of hard-baked bright clay, and the roofs are thinly thatched. As you pass, eyes appear at dark doorways, tracking your every move. For a moment, it seems like this will be all you see of the town's inhabitants. But then, a villager appears from one of the dwellings and blocks your path. Let's look at him. He is 5 feet tall. They cannot grow much taller than here, in this poisonous air. He has a thick set of arms and thighs, and is half cloth and tattered breeches. His eyes are wild, and his long red hair and beard stand out from his face in a wiry tangle. Halt, stranger! What business have you in Kantopani? I want to buy equipment. I want to buy equipment. He grunts, but you can see that he is pleased. With emotion, he encourages you to follow, taking you through the village to a large hut. Let's see what he has for equipment. Inside, you find that the building is a storehouse. A quartermaster, somewhat plumper than your guide, is seated at the table. Oh, so the quartermaster's thick. Stride over to him. You stride across the room and put your hand on the fat man to shake. Greetings, I am here to trade, you declare. You are a merchant? I hear this village has excellent wares. The man looks startled, but he gets quickly to his feet. Good day to you. Sit, I'll show you what little I have. Sit down. He quickly hustles the villager out of the door as you sit. The man wags a finger. Wait there. He disappears for a moment into a side room. Wait. You wait. The merchant returns, carrying a large box. For you, he declares, moving his hands as he speaks. I see what kind of man you are. This collection, the very best. Are most strange and interesting artifacts. Collected from other travelers who have come this way. He begins to lay the items out in front of you, treating each with great care. You have 20 gold pieces to spend, but is there anything worth your while to buy in this place? So we have a herbalist potion, a musical pipe, a weapon, a leather bag, a jewel. Musical pipe? You pick up a bamboo pipe of the table, carved with a split reed and 6-finger holes. What use is this? Are you selling off your infant's toy? 3 gold pieces, the merchant says. I can't promise you that it has any magic, but it may cheer you up at night. I'm gonna put it back. It would be better to get for a child, you reply. Replacing the pipe on the table, the merchant shrugs, but does not seem surprised. Please. Something else today? I still have 20 gold pieces to spend. So let's see here. So we have... let's see here. Leather bag. You lift a bag from the table. Its contents rattle. Teeth, the merchant replies, showing his own a little. Finest creature teeth. Only 3 gold pieces too. This is actually good, I think, because I think we need teeth. Look inside the bag. You may open the bag, but the merchant says, no, he says simply. I can't afford you to have popping one of them while I'm not looking, can I? I mean, just... I won't buy the teeth without seeing them. Then you won't buy them. Unless... I mean, it's okay. Fine. I'll take it. And then, let's see the weapon. Look at the axe. What weapons do you have? The merchant looks at you carefully, sizing up what kind of customer you are. The kind to place a newly bought dagger against his neck, or the kind to tip him for the quality of the blade. But he must see your honor shining through, as he wags his finger once more, and then collects an axe and a fine broadsword from another corner of the shop. These are both treasures, as well as deadly weapons of war. I'm sure you will agree. I like quicker weapons, so let's look at the axe. You lift the axe from the table. The head is carved with symbols in a familiar language, but the quality of the shaft and head indicate that the axe is well used and may not last many more battles. Yeah, no. The broadsword, let's see. You lift the broadsword. It has a ready weight, and the cutting edge is sharp. It's clearly been honed by a master exquisite. He doesn't seem like the type that wants to haggle, so yeah, it shall be mine. It shall be mine, you reply, nodding once more. The merchant reaches over and you place 6 gold pieces into his palm. The merchant nods, then begins to pack his box away once more. I must have something for you. Save something for my next customer. He replies with a smile. But perhaps you will return this way, and it will be you. You get to your feet and take your leave of the merchant. Just outside the doorway in the sunshine, you pause to examine what you have acquired. Let's look at the bag of teeth. It is quite an assortment. There are 3 teeth, 1 from an ape. You can't see the merchant? No, there is no picture. Wait, hold on. No, everything seems fine. There's okay. Did you just come in because this game is mostly text-based. There's no pictures. It was showing like click your character to continue. Really? I don't have any drop frames. It seems it's good now. Oh, okay. All right. I got scared for a second. Okay. All right. Good. You open the drawstring bag and shift through the contents. It is quite an assortment. There are 3 teeth from an ape, 4 from a goblin, 2 from a snatacat, and a large molar from a giant that is the size of a ripe plum. Cool. Let's swing the broadsword. You swing the broadsword, left, right. It is a fine weapon indeed, and will make you more powerful in battle. You are pleased at the bargain you struck. Alright, let's move out of the village. You head out of Kantopani and along the path into the Shamutani Hills. Alright, let's get out of here. Striding past the outlying huts, you send the villagers rushing indoors to hide. Then, at the edge of town, you pass a large boulder. At once, 2 rough-cut villagers spring out with drawn bandits. Oi, oi! 2 against 1, the first declare. You're lost, calls the other. So hand over your things, come on. Do we reason with them, deal with these curs? I'd say deal with them. You draw yourself to full height. You have mistaken me for someone else, you declare. I would like to give you a moment to reconsider, because I will kill you if I have to. The bandits growl and advance on you. 1 on either hand. Cast a spell? Let's see. So let's see. No, there's nothing. So let's see. Fuff? What's this? Summon darkness? No. No. What is law? Control no, they're kind of intelligent, so I can't. Jig? Oh, god damn it. If I had the flute, they would have been able to, like, I would have been able to, like, make them dance. God damn it. Okay, Prick Bog. You cast a spell. The bandits flinch, waiting to be incinerated by a fireball. But all that happens is smoke begins to rise from your body and dissipate into the air. No. God damn it. Alright. Let's fight. Let's see. Weapons. Damn it. Okay, well, nothing for it. Let's fight. I'm gonna go... add this. Alright, Oh, wait. You should have made things easier for yourself. The bandit goads and launches forward with his sword. You go straight for his throat, knocking him back hard. The smile on his face splits into a cry. The bandit stops and cuffs blood into the air. Let's just get him. You cut the imbecile, no slack. You aim a savage blow to his heart. The bandit gasps his last as you run him through. No stamina lost. Perfect. Continue. The second bandit takes one look at his dead colleague and then turns to make a run for it. Let him go. It's not gonna... You let him go. He will tell others not to interfere with Annalander in the future. Turning back to the path, you begin to walk once more. After about half an hour, the way becomes an uphill incline. So we climb into the hill, leaving Kanto Pani behind. Marks the true start of the wilderness. Beyond that tiny outpost, there are scattered homesteads and Kare, a thriving city port. But all are touched by cruelty, isolation, and fear. The backlands and the long shadow cast by Mampang Forest darken everything. And with the crown gone, and with the crown stolen, things can only grow worse. In the long years since Kanala, the reformer founded the alliance, the crown has been passed from kingdom to kingdom every 4 years, ensuring each one has its turn to lead, but no more. Brattlestone, Lenderland, Galantaria, and Bryce have all enjoyed its power, but not Annaland. When the crown came to Annaland, it was stolen by birdmen from Zaman and carried off to Mampang. With the crown, the Archmage will be unstoppably powerful. There is no chance of sending an army against them. A military force will not survive the journey. So here you are, a lone warrior, walking the long path to Mampang alone. 5 minutes later, you reach a fork in the road. The sergeant, for all his eyesight, hadn't mentioned this. So we have a fork in the road. The road splits at the base of the gigantic tree. It does not rejoin on the other side. The left path winds down into a valley, and the right rises up into a slope towards the first thick of the forest of the hills. So to the right? It's hard to see much further uphill. The forest is thick and sudden, and the path narrow. It may be hard going in that direction, but the hills will be involved in a lot of climbing, and you may get a decent view of the next leg of the top of the ridge. Look left. You pause to reconsider the lower route. There is a river there. The path follows the left bank. It is a safer route, secluded and protected, but the curve of the landscape would mean you were almost backtracking. You are about to make a choice when you hear a faint cry from somewhere else at hand. Look around. You look around, then finally up at the branch of a tree. A pair of wizened, calloused feet are dangling over your head and about to drop on you. Perhaps Who's there? Who's there? You call. The voice cries again, a little more boldly this time. Yeah, out, out. I can't get down. It is the voice of a feeble, wiry old man. Stepping back a little, you see him clearly, as thin as sticks, and dressed in dirt rags. Some really nice art. Let's help him down. Swinging yourself into the lowest branch of the tree, you reach up and grab the old man by the waist. He is as light as a leaf, and within a moment you have lifted him to the ground. Thanks for that, he remarks, brushing himself down and almost knocking himself over in the process. I was just starting to get a bit, perturbed, but I'm on the safe now. He seems remarkably confident, considering that the slightest stumble might break him into bits. What would you do now? Keep going for Ireland, he says. That's where I sit from. While back now. You wouldn't believe the story if I told you. Suffice to say, though, if I know my eyes from my eyes, you're heading out to Mampang. And you better be smarter than I was. And here, he presses a page onto your hand. It is a page torn from a spell book. This here might be some use to you. Just found it, mine, and don't keep going asking how. But it no good to me anymore. Take it. You take the page and thank him. The man falls quiet and squats down on the ground. With his jabbering done, you hear a buzzing sound from high up on the tree. A beehive. I'm not gonna fuck with the bees. You must move on. The light is already fading as the old man dashes off downhill towards Kantopani. At a terrific pace, you consider your options. Let's check the item that we just got. Spellbook. Examine. This page is torn through and only half the page spell is visible. Cop. Okay. Oh, it's the 8. 8. Okay. So we got two choices. So if we go this way, we're just gonna go back, and then it's gonna give us another two choices, like go this way or go that way. So I think it's better if we like trace a map. Looking at us here. So if we go this way, we're gonna have access to the Shankar mines, and then Kirstatani. If we just keep going this way, or like whatever's here. I don't like going through forests personally. I think that might be a bit of a problem. I think if we get here, we can either go to Medikini Forest or we can go to Liaki. Usually in like ruined areas, I think there's like interesting stuff. So I think, yeah, let's go this way. The high route seems the most secure in a valley. You can be easily observed from above and led astray, but out in the hills, you can go whichever way you choose. Of course, when the night falls, it may be cold and exposed in the slopes, but no matter. The journey was never destined to be easy. The path winds upwards into the hills and into the cover of a wood. The afternoon sun glints through the trees and plays tricks on your eyes. Every so often, you catch a glimpse of some strange-shaped animal or other watching you, only to find that the silhouette of the branches and the leaves cut at an odd angle. After an hour's walk, you are starting to feel hungry. Let's stop and eat. You clamber at the top of a low stone dolmen, then sit and pull out a quantity of your cheese and bread and eat, while admiring the view down the hillside through a break in the trees. You feel better for your rest. Time to move on. You stand on top and put on your pack, on which you have been sitting to prevent any creatures from getting in, or any of your things falling out. Then you return to the path. The climb continues, and then the path twisting this way and that. The air grows cold, and the sun flickers on the horizon, then sets, making it hard to see your way. But the moon is full, and when the twilight is done, it will be bright once more. Okay, so we can keep walking or make camp. It's night, and I don't want to be caught. Like, I think if we make camp at the entrance of the woods, it might be better. So let's go this way. Oh, fuck. Okay. But you tire yourself out on the first day and may be inauspicious. You settle down to make camp for the night in a natural shelter provided by the roots of 3 gigantic intertwined trees. Your backpack will serve for a pillow, and your cloak for a blanket. You lay yourself on the ground and are quick to sleep. The moon is full and high in the sky, and when you open your eyes, you feel a warm and more than cozy than you did before. As if wrapped in a gigantic blanket, there is a pain in your leg. Slowly you realize what is happening. A giant bat has settled on your chest and is feeding on your leg. Let's cast a spell. What is this? Grow in size. No, that seems like a waste. No, I can't cast Jig. Hold on a moment. Okay. Yeah, I can't cast this. What about M? Hey, Fatality! Welcome to the stream. Mag is protect from magic. No, this is nothing. Control non-intelligent creatures. You complete the spell and the bat stiffens. It is responding to your mental commands. I mean, am I gonna order it to kill itself? I don't get it. Just order it away. You direct it? Yeah, alright, flew away. Once again, the crown fills your dreams. Only now, instead of being hidden in Mampang, fortress by the Archmage, you see it on the head of a burly villager from Kanto Pani. Anyone can wear the crown, he declares to you. But wearing the crown, you are no longer just anyone. And then he points a finger at you that seems to crackle with energy, and you find yourself drawn towards him, commanded to do his bidding. The new broadsword in your hands is growing heavier and heavier. You're walking towards a crack in the ground. It seems sure to swallow you whole. You stumble at its edge, about to fall. Alright, the next morning. The second day of your journey begins in the morning cool. Still halfway between sleeping and walking, you feel the presence of your spirit, the ape, close nearby. Its form has changed since you left Analan, just as you have changed, but it is still walking beside you. In the temple, they taught you that a prayer to your spirit could heal disease, lift curses, and even save you from certain death. But spirits are not generous, and they decline to help often. You can ask for spirits on the pray button. Your spirit is the ape. The ape is, from what I remember, like the best one. A strong beast, intelligent and prudent, who takes great pride in acting faithfully. to be dependent upon. I don't want to use a prayer just yet. I think we're fine. You feel yourself getting accustomed to the fetid air of these hills. You have now ascended several hundred feet and expect to make excellent progress before the end of the day. As you crest the brow of the hill, you see something that makes you stop in your tracks. To your left is a clearing, and in the clearing are several poles planted firmly in the ground. Atop each pole is a head. Look at the heads. The heads are of all kinds of ages. Some are recently fixed, while others have decayed, and some are nothing but skull and hair. These are human heads, goblin heads, and one or two heads of creatures you do not recognize. All have sewn up eyes and mouths. A large X painted on the rock nearby is obviously intended as a warning not to venture any further. But ahead the road forks, left and right. You cannot be sure which path you are warned not to take. The right-hand path continues to climb, and the left-hand path winds down to the side of the hill. So we got two paths. This will take us to like a town. And hold on a second. And then this one, wait, what happened here? Okay. And then this one will take us this way. So I want to go this way. The climb continues up the next hill for several hours, until you are not far from the top. Then the faint sound of bustling activity reaches you. Tramping feet, grunting voices, and the clanking of metal against rock. There is something ahead, hidden by the ancient trees that line these slopes. Follow the sound. You leave the path and continue through the woods. A short distance onwards, you hide behind a tree and survey the clearing. A number of goblins are in the clearing, working at the mouth of an open cave. They trudge in and out of the opening, carrying large bowls in their arms, piled with glistening rocks and dull metallic nuggets. Make a break for the cave entrance, watch them work. And don't feel like interfering. Interesting, perhaps the goblins are making ready for war. Even they are afraid of the power of the Archmage will wield once he has a crown. But it is of no use to you. You are not there to raid goblin mines for yourself. You cannot risk the future of Annalyn for trinkets. So instead, you slip around the side of the clearing to a path leading onwards and down the far side of the hill. Alright, so the bridge. You follow a path that leads sharply downhill into a narrow valley in which the stream runs. There is no path along the banks, but there is a bridge. Let's inspect the ropes and planks. You test the ropes. They seem to be firm. Hold on, I need some water. Hold on. Okay. You test the ropes. They seem to be firm. If this is a trap, it's not one that will dump you into the stream. But you could always struggle through the vegetation on the bank and try to find a foreboding point. Let's use the bridge. I think it's fine. Moving slowly with one hand on your sword hilt. Expecting the boards to give way at any moment, you inch across. The bridge holds, and you reach the other bank quite safely. You now have a long walk ahead of you along the ridge, through a light covering of trees. Alright. Let's go all the way here. The path climbs, again, up a low hill, covered with thick bushes and shrubs that snag at your clothing. Halfway up, you hear a sound. Twigs breaking. Freeze. You freeze as a large creature, the size of a bear, emerges directly in front of you. It has black and white fur, and a long bushy tail that trails out behind. It growls menacingly. If I can avoid fighting, I think that's kind of the best. Perhaps if you are careful, you can slip around it. Slip to the right. God damn it. You try to slip towards the bushes, but clearly something about you, or what you carry, attracts the beast's attention. As it stiffs the air and then moves towards you, its sharp teeth on display, you will not be able to avoid confrontation. The creature is a skunk bear. Oh, fuck. And when it raises its tail, it releases a nauseating odor. The smell that hangs around it is terrible. Let's see what we can cast. No, that's too much of a waste. No, that's not what I wanted to pick. Do I not have sap? Causes depression. I'm gonna make the skunk depressed. No. Wait. 6. Clone the caster. No. Nap. Causes sleepiness. No, there's nothing here. No, I guess we'll just fight it. I'm gonna try and kill it in one go. The creature has 2 main weapons, its long claws and its terrible smell. Killing it quickly will be your best chance of avoiding losing your last meal. It's fine, Tony. How did it go? How did the test go? Also, if you guys want me to play like fantasy music, like RuneScape stuff or whatever, let me know. I like the music of this game, but it's also like very text heavy. So some music might be fine if you guys want it. But how did the test go, Tony? Its long claws and its terrible smell. Killing it quickly will be your best chance of avoiding losing your last meal. You swing your sword in a mighty arc. At the last moment, the skunk bear charges. You drop and chop for its legs, cutting them out from underneath its body. The skunk bear now emits a new terrible odor. The smell of fear. Perhaps it wallows in the air with its heavy tail. Fucking die. Standing firm, you swing with a mighty blow at the skunk bear. Then your sword finds a soft place in the skunk bear's body. The beast roars and tumbles into the ground, quite dead. Perfect. You guys can hear me, right? Just in case. I passed the test and now I'm enlisted. Oh, congrats, man! I will go to the boot camp next month, and after that, I will go to my specialty camp. Hell yeah! Congrats! Holy shit! You must be really excited. Yeah, just wanted to make sure because there was an issue earlier. So, congrats, dude. Moving along with your life. That's great. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm in it for the money that I'm out. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's still something though. right? Because then it's still good. With the creature defeated, you wipe your sword clean and leave this place behind. The path leads down another valley and back up another hill. 2 hours pass. I hope I can get placed either on Japan or Korea. Yeah, I hope so too. You know what? Italy or France wouldn't be, or like somewhere in Europe wouldn't be a bad choice either. The sun is now just past its zenith, and everywhere a dusty heat rises from the baked earth. You begin to think about where you will stay for the night. Another sleeping out in the open would be best avoided. But then you see a small village set on into the hill. Let's move on. You continue the slow trudge along the path. Let's go here. I think if you go to Japan, you're going to be placed in Okinawa, if I'm not mistaken. You walk into the village. Young hill dwellers pass you and stare at your strange clothes. For my specialty, Germany is a Oh, okay. What's your specialty? You will walk into the village. Young hill dwellers pass you and stare at your strange clothes. You nod back respectfully. Look at the people. Their own attire is rough by comparison to your gear. They wear their hair long but piled on the heads. These people are ghastly poor, and the village is like a ghost town, here on the knife edge of the backlands. Okay, so we can talk in the ale house, which would be smart, right? And look at this art. So good. Walking down the single road, you quickly find a hut with its front covering pulled wide open, and the smell of brewed beer coming from inside. You go in. Several hill dwellers are here, talking gruffly. When you enter, they watch you with an understandable caution. The owner of the hut comes over to you. "Welcome to Kristatani," he declares. "What do you want?" Greet the owner. "An evening's rest and a drink to wet my throat," you reply. "Ale is 1 gold piece," he answers. "Please sit." You go over to the table where the hill dwellers are. Sit with the oldest man. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Sorry. Where was I? Network communication systems. Okay. Yeah, that sounds fine. I mean, it's a good way to build your career. I'm gonna put this away. An evening's rest and a drink to wet my throat. "Ale is 1 gold piece," he answers. "Please sit." You go over with the table where the hill dwellers are. Sit with the oldest man or sit with the youngest one? Which one? Which one do we want? Do we sit with the oldest man? No, we sit with the youngest man. Some of the sergeants during the process were some scary. I can bet. Oldest man? Alright. You turn your attention to the oldest man at the table. Whatever face he once had is lost in a labyrinth of wrinkles, and his skin is the color of a tanned hide from a lifetime in the beating sun. Greetings, old man! He raises his mug in salute. Stranger. His face gravely like the dusty dirt that lines the streets of this town. Where are you from? I come from Enland. He nods. Not many as cross through the Kantopani gate. In either direction, if you know what I'm saying. I understand you. He grins and picks his teeth with a fingernail. They say there's a war coming. Something to do with a crown. Let's play stupid. Or do... Not if I can help it. Is that so? Replies a canny old man. Well, seems like you should be drinking on the house tonight. For the good of us all, Chanti. He calls to the... I'll cover this man's ale. It's appreciated. You sip your beer. The old man exchanges glances with them. Let's talk with the young man. You thank him for the conversation, and you catch the young man's eyes. He moves over to be right beside you. Close enough to whisper in your ear, but you don't quite catch what he says. Repeat that. Get that kill. The man giggles to himself unexpectedly, leaning in again, so close that you can smell the fumes on his breath, and he declares, "Snack cats!" Then he collapses in a fit of giggles. Whatever the joke is, you cannot see it. Tell me about the village. The man nods twice, then drinks deeply from his beer to wet his throat. Or perhaps not, because as he puts the mug down, he once more sensed nothing and just fidgets with his fingers. Occasionally grins in your direction. Asks one of the dwellers. You catch a woman's arm nearby. What's wrong with this man? You demand. She shrugs, slipping free of your grasp. Every villager has this one. Doesn't mean we're not all like that. Good stock we are. She flutters her eyelids. You get back on your feet. The young man giggles to himself, but does not attempt to stop you. Finish my beer and leave. You make to leave the inn. With a wave back to the old man who bought you your drink, you step outside. You look this way and that, trying to decide what to do next. When you realize the old man has joined you once more, he grabs your shoulder and presses fruit on your hand. Bamba, he declares through fermented breath. I grew 'em myself. Good for the stomach. He pats your belly and walks away, swaying slightly. Look at the fruit. You turn the old man's gift over into your hands. It is thick-ridden fruit that keeps well and will be highly nourishing when you decide to eat this. Its only drawback is its incredible weight. It is now evening. It's time to sleep. So I managed to get a free drink and fruit. So let's go sleep at an inn. You stop a passerby and ask for an inn, and they lead you directly there. The woman who runs the place stands in the doorway with her arms folded. Are you from the king? She demands. Should I tell her I'm on a mission from the king, for the king, or I'm a mere traveler? I already told the old man that I am on a quest. I'm a mere traveler. No, I'm a mere traveler. The woman narrows her eyes at you. This is a guest house, the best in Kristatani. Only guests stay, and any guest of mine knows it costs me 3 gold pieces to host a man overnight, and 2 to feed them. But it's all between friends. So it would cost me 5 to eat, and I mean, we can check. No. Inn. Let's go to the inn. I'm on a mission for the king. Taxes. Taxes? No. The woman narrows her eye. This is a guess. So it's fucking same thing. I don't need to eat because I had an ale, so I'll take a room. The woman shows you the way upstairs to a room. There are 3 other guests already staying and asleep, so you settle quickly. The bed is not clean, but it is comfortable, and after the long day and all its narrow escapes, you are grateful beyond measure for rest. Save what I have. Your last thoughts are of food. You have not eaten today, but you cannot watch on forever or you will achieve nothing but feeding the wolves. Sleep. Your dreams are vivid once again. You are walking endlessly, the hills moving up and down under your feet like a rippling sea. Every step exhausts you, but no step moves you forwards. Meanwhile, a tall black creature strides towards you, wreathed in a foul-smelling smoke, and in the distance, a deep voice is booming with laughter. The long, cruel fingers of one hand are curled around the metal frame of a crown, and with the other, he beckons you forward, as if into a trap. All right, beyond Kristatani. You wake early and sit for a moment, in no great hurry to leave the village. This is now the 3rd day of your journey, and the muscles on your legs are feeling lean and strong from so much walking. You spend a short while enjoying the peace, then unhurriedly collect your possessions and set off along the path. Kristatani is surrounded by several miles of fields, and it sits in a well-protected ring of hills, and is close enough to the river to be reasonably prosperous. As you follow the path between lines of sun-baked crops, you come to a fork in the road. The right-hand way leads past a set of outbuildings, while the left heads directly into a deep woodland. Let's see here. So here we have a ruined area. There's usually stuff to look for, but there seems to be like a house in the forest. We got, Dumpus. We got 2 towns, so we're gonna go through the forest. We got this, and then another town. 2 towns, actually. Then we have this long bridge over here. Another town. We have several towns here. So we've already made halfway into the map. Let's go check the forest. Your journey is too important to slow down by talking to the locals. You must pass unseen, and so you disappear into the jungle of tall trees. For a short while, the sun is feverous, and then you are between the trees once more, and everything becomes cool and still. You walk for several hours uneventfully. This land that was never settled or explored, and very few travel this way. In places, bushes and shrubs have grown over into the path. I'm gonna move cautiously. You pick your way carefully forward. moving slowly but silently between the trees. If there are bees nearby, you should be able to wring their necks without them hearing you approach. Then you come to a fork in the road, still deep in the forest. So we got a fork. Someone has thought to make a sign, perhaps as a guide, or perhaps as a warning. The way to the right is marked for Dumpus. In the left turns to point to Aliana. Neither seems to be a better trod. You will have to choose. I'm going to check what's over here. Because then, you know, we're just going to go back this way. The path winds between the trees that get greener and more lush. You must be closer to the river here. Although you cannot hear the water. After about half an hour's walk through dampled shade, you come across a well-built hut. Flowers decorate its wall, and the doors have been painted with ornate designs. The path ends here. Scout around it. You perform a sweep circuit of the hut, but find nothing unusual or concerning. It seems to be what it is, a hut. Set by itself deep in the forest, but for someone to survive out here, on their own, surrounded by beasts of the jungle, they must be someone quite powerful. Knock on the door. You open the door and knock. There is no reply. I'm afraid that if I open the door, some wizard's gonna come out and just like shoot me. But let's open the door. Let's go inside. The hut is nearly laid out. Chairs set around a table as if for guests. The mattress lies in one corner, and a large kitchen area indicates that whoever lives here, they are fond of cooking. Call out. Hello, is anyone there? To your surprise, a voice answered quickly. Who's there? Who's that? Locate the speaker. Look into a corner hidden by a large cupboard. You see a cage in which a young woman is imprisoned. Good stranger, she pleads. Let me out of this cage, I beg you. What has happened to you? You move over to the cage, shocked. What happened to you? Oh, good stranger, she wails. I have been locked up here for 2 days. It was Elvins that did it. Those mischievous, prankful Elvins. You must help me. I have not eaten, and they left me here, where I can see all my cooking things, but I cannot reach them. I'll help you. Going over to the cage. It is locked, of course. Use magic. Stand back, you declare. Let's cast a spell. Raz. No. Not Raz. I trust people. I you know, someone has to. Dawes? Class, slowness, Dop. No. God damn it. Open locks and doors. You cast a spell over the lock and it begins to shiver. Like a small beetle, it hums and clicks. And the tumblers turn and work. Then finally, it snaps open and drops to the floor. The woman claps her hands in delight, and with the door open, she rushes out and throws her arms around you, before backing off a pace and regaining her composure. Stranger, she declares, I am in your debt. Aliana will reward you. Will you take an aid in combat or mastery of magic? This is a choose your own adventure game. It's inspired by books of the same name. So the original creator, Steve Jackson, made these like big books of like choose your own adventure. And these like, you know, supposedly like, you know, Dungeons and Dragons and all that kind of stuff was inspired by all like this guy is the reason why we have RPGs nowadays. like the creator of this thing. And this game has been faithfully recreated. These books were faithfully recreated into this game. But it is kind of a Skyrim. You choose your own adventure, the kind of person that you're going to be. Will I take an aid in combat? Shut up. So, will I take in magic combat? I need no reward beyond a kiss. So, do we take help in magic? Do we get stronger in combat? Or do we just simp? We got 3 choices here. What to do? I will... Any no reward. Stranger, you are most kind, but I do not think it would be wise. Delicately, she steps around to the other side from the table. The lady has been freed, and it seems like there's nothing much more to keep you from here in the quest. Well, I can ask if I eat. She nods to settle you down on the table and quickly devour the old man's nourishing bomba. Fruit. God damn it. Well, fuck. No, that's not what I... God damn it. Call out. Locate the speaker. Get her out. Use magic. Cast a spell. No, I'm not gonna kill her. Okay, simping doesn't really do much, so let's do magic. Magic. Very well. She rushes over to a wall and opens a panel you had not seen before. She takes out a small box, which she places in your hands with a smile. No tricks, she says with a smile. All these things will aid you if you know how they're meant to be used. Open the box. What's in the box? You flip open the box. It contains a small vial of glue, a pair of strange-looking nose plugs, and 4 small pebbles. You pocket them and give back the empty box. The lady has been freed, and it seems like there's nothing more to keep you from your quest. Would you share my food with me? Alright, thanks Tony. Appreciate it. And again, congrats on passing the test. I wish you good luck with the rest. I hope you get placed where you want. Alright, take my leave. I must be... What time is it? I will continue the story a little bit. And then I'll figure out a good spot to stop. Because it is kind of getting late. One second. Give me 1 second, I need to... Okay. I must be on my way, you tell her. I have more miles to cover today. She nods. Of course. Please, before you go. She holds out something. It is a small bag of gold coins. Take it. You bow your head and accept the gift. There are 7 score. There are 7 gold pieces inside. And one more thing, she says. Moving around the table, she leans up to you and pecks you on the cheek, whispering. I am whispering. I am Aliana the witch, and I have killed a good many men with my sorcery. But I chose not to kill you today. Go in peace. Then she steps back, and her face is soft and peaceful as it ever was. Did you imagine her words? Almost certainly not. Time then to leave. You step quickly outside. You retrace your steps to the last junction, where you take on the path to Dumpus. Whew. I can fix her, I promise. I want to go back and... Once I finish my quest, I will find Aliana. You walk for several hours, following the twists and turns of the path through the trees. Then suddenly you stop. You have heard a noise up ahead. Something is moving around between the rocks at the edge of the path. Wait and look. You hang back watching the trees. There is definitely something moving around. Something large and long. With a tail that whips between the trees. But now that you've seen it, you're at definite advantage. Let's see what spells are available to us. No, I don't want to use law. Let's see. Dawes? No. Can I zap that bitch? Ooh, yeah. Wait, let's... For the love of God, let me... Okay. Thought I was hearing something. Requires 3 stamina. Cast. You cast a spell and point towards the beast, unleashing a violent electrical bolt deep into its fur. It is a rat bear. You have wounded it badly, but it is not quite done yet. It is still coming for you with the last of its strength. Fucking bitch his ass out. Alright. The rat bear advances at speed, running on all fours with his vicious tail poised to spike. You will not be intimidated by an overgrown rodent. You plant your feet and ready a mighty sword swing. Then your sword slips between the creature's ribs and drives deep into its putrid heart. The rat bear squeals and falls to the ground, face down in the mud. With the beast dead on the path, you are free to move onwards. Approach Dumpy. The path winds a few more times around gigantic trees, thousands of years old, then emerges into a sudden plain as if the trees had been scooped away by a gigantic hand. A river trickles between short grasses, and by its bank stands a tiny village. We can avoid Dumpy, or we can, I think it would be wise to take the village. I mean, today has been a short day with few true dangers. With a decent meal and a night's sleep, your next day will start auspiciously. So you begin to gentle climb down into the village. You follow the path down into the village, passing a sign which declares it to be Dumpy. The streets are thin and narrow, and the buildings have been set close together, as if trying to withstand the storm. There is a terrible smell hanging in the air. All in all, it seems an unpleasant place. Let's explore the town. Halfway along the track, you come across a couple of merchant huts. You browse for items worth buying with your 15 gold pieces. Attention is taken by a finely woven skull cap, a finely crafted sword, and a small bag of provisions. Examine the skull cap. You pick stolen from the priest of Dudelay. The merchant declares it with pride. A fine piece of work. 4 gold pieces. You can feel from the cloth that it has no inherent magic, but it might be useful in spells. I don't know that it is worth it, but I know that there was like a specific spell that used it. Try it on. Put it back. Examine the sword. Carefully, you lift the longsword from the table and swing it in the air. It cuts with a finely carved... It's a fine piece of work. I'm sure you'll agree. 6 gold pieces. I have the broadsword. I don't think I need it. Let's see. Buy provisions. You examine a bag of food. There is enough to last about 3 days. 6 gold pieces. Good for a traveler, I'm sure. See, I'm worried. I'll buy provisions. Fine. You pay him 6 gold pieces and added provisions to your pack, all for except for 1 ration. That's enough. Is there someone I can go to sleep? He points down to a side road that leads to an inn. You thank him. Let's go to the inn. Following the merchant's instructions, you quickly find an inn in the center of Dumpy. It is a tumble-down building with mats spread across the floor and a kitchen range that fills the air with an appealing, spicy smell. The man who runs the inn is wiry and looks like as if he does not had a thing. Wait, I can read, I swear. And looks as if he does not eat a thing himself. 3 gold pieces for Hillfolk's broth, tells you, and 3 for a place to rest for your head. You have eaten today already, so you are not hungry. I will rest. You pay 3 gold pieces, and the man shows you a mattress in one corner of the room. Sleep. You dream strange dreams as you sleep. Your thoughts are dominated by the strange woman in the hut. In your mind, she has become younger and more beautiful than she truly was. Flowers seem to blossom from her hair, as she has grown from the earth itself. Overhead, you fancy you hear the flap of giant wings. The birdmen came for the crown. Perhaps before this journey is finished, they will come for you. Asleep, Dumpy. You rise early, thank the innkeeper, and head out to the street. Within a few minutes of walking, you are out of Dumpy and back into the road. After another hour or so, the way branches, with one path leading up into the hills, and the other turning downhill, and along one side of a barren, stony ridge. Is that a village you can make up on top of the hill? It seems a lonely place for it. I am going to go downhill. Let's see. How many fucking villages am I gonna encounter? But honestly, if we go through this village, we're gonna have to cross the mountain. We might find a troll on the bridge. You follow a meandering path along the side of the hill for most of the morning. It is difficult to see the way around the tree line, but you trust the course, and eventually the path bursts onto a narrow stone ledge, high above the valley floor. The ledge leads left and right. There is no way forwards. I don't need to eat, so let's look right. Looking right, you are taken aback. Out of the mist that fills the valley, an impossibly wide bridge looms into view. As if it had only now fallen into place. It is made of planks and thick ropes, and is suspended from a peak to peak on the other side. Who could have built this such a marvel, and how long ago? Look at the bridge. You take a moment more staring at the bridge. It looks delicate curve across the valley, swaying very slightly in the wandering wind. But the more you look, the more it seems it's too perfect. Could such a bridge possibly exist? Or is it a mere illusion to trick the incautious traveler? Look left. You can see that a narrow ledge is formed by splitting of the rock that leads all the way down to the misty valley floor. If there is a path up to the other side, it is not clear from here. Let's move on. Getting onto your feet once more, you take a moment to find your balance before moving on. One slip here and you will fall a long way down. I think if we go into the... Let's go into the valley. The bridge seems untrustworthy. Should anything happen while you were halfway across it, there will be no escape but the last, most final kind. Better to walk. You make your way along the stone ledge. The angle is too steep. It's hard going not to stumble. At the valley floor, there is a dried up river, covered in worn stones, owned by water that is now long gone. Small caves open in the rock face nearby, with rusted machinery abandoned outside. There was mining here once, but it must have stopped a long time ago. Wider track made for carts carrying ore leads up the far slope. Let's investigate the mines. You approach the mine entrance. A wet wind greets you from the depths. A mine shaft must lead somewhere, but it is pitch dark. There are no torches, and you do not have any light of your own. You breathe, your breath is short, and your heart is hammering as you pause. Halfway up the valley slope. A small wooden hut is opposite, set a little back from the path. Let's approach the hut. Thinking you might be able to stop for directions, you head up towards the hill. But halfway across the scrub towards it... Oh, it's a troll. Drop out of sight. You crouch quickly. Down quickly. And watch anxiously to see what the troll will do. The creature stands outside for the hut for a few minutes, looking this way and that, his colossal head turning with the speed and dexterity of a mill wheel. Then he stomps away. Around the curve of the hill, you probably have a few minutes before he reappears. Let's go inside the hut. Hey! We're back with the ape. You seize the opportunity and race over the hut to see what you can pilfer. Inside you find is a barren shack. There is a low oak table in the center, but no windows. There is no door. A pile of blankets in one corner is the only nicety. By the look of the table and its stains, this is where the troll sharpens his blade. Oh, okay, so this is okay. The creature will be back any moment. You should go. Let's leave. You've been here long enough. Quickly you turn and hurry away. Just in time to see the troll returning from its patrol around the edge of the hill. It has not seen you, and it is too stupid to notice anything you might have moved or left out of place. It moves to enter the hut. Slip away. With the troll out of sight, you hurry along the path, not pausing again until the hut is far away. Alright, let's keep walking. Another hour passes as you finish the climb. With the sun starting to hang heavy in the sky, you reach the top and meet with the other end of the rope bridge. Back at the bridge. It may look stable, but it is undoubtedly a death trap set to part travelers from the gold and their lives. You continue down the slope as evening draws in. Alright, we're gonna head into town. Some way down the hill, you stop for a rest and sit down on the boulder to survey what lies ahead. The path leads downwards, and at its foot, cradled between three peaks, is a village, and quite a large one at that. Behind you, the sun is falling rapidly into the hills. It will be night. It will be night soon. Approach the village. The village looks like a good place to stop. You hop on down from the boulder and make your way down forward. When an overhanging branch touches your face, and you hear a lively chirping. Freeze. Hovering by your shoulder is a small creature the size of a bird. It is childlike, but very thin, with green skin, and it flits around you with transparent wings. It seems friendly and loved. It even lands on your shoulder, its tiny clawed toes pinching slightly. Greetings, little creature. And hello to you, the creature replies, chirping. My name's Jan. Oh, it's a fairy. Okay. What are you? The creature does a backflip and gives a low bow. I am Minimite. Pleased to meet you. Reaches out with a tiny hand and shakes your earlobe. What can you tell me about the village? Is it safe? What voice can I do for him?
That is Brittany. It is very safe. It is the largest village in the whole of Shamotani Hills. Every traveler who comes this way spends at least one night there. So it is a bit expensive, especially for Minimites, but pleasant enough.
The creature starts hopping up and down.
Come on,
it grumbles impatiently.
Let's get going, can't we?
What do you want with me?
See that village? The creature. Last time I tried to go through, they told me I wasn't welcome, so I wouldn't mind some protection.
Sure, I can protect you. You're not in any hurry, are you? Do you want to sleep it out in the rough? Alright, well, let's get going then. You descend into the bow of the valley. The hills on either side are towering tall and throw the village into a deep shadow. It would seem a very gloomy, threatening place, but from the streets come the distant sound of laughter and merriment. Enter the town. You continue along the path. The sound of festivities grow louder. It is almost spooky here in the shade of the valley. And after so long on the dire road, the people in this village seem to be enjoying themselves.
See? I told you this was a happy place.
Jan, what's going on?
No, if there was magic, believe me, I know. This is the festival of the young.
Enter the festival. You pass the first few buildings, where you find a number of children sitting in the streets and drinking ale from deep mugs. Oh, okay. Further on, a young boy is holding on a woman over his knee and spanking her. What? On the other side of the street, a group of boys is fighting outside a hut with a sign that reads, Glandragger's Tavern. It's complete mayhem. I'm not gonna interfere. You consider helping the woman, but there's nothing you can do. It is their festival after all. I'm gonna go further. Let's enter the tavern, see what's up. Behind the bar, thick-set man is wiping down with an old rag. Greetings, stranger.
I am I'm Glandrago. Can I be helping you? Greetings. I've come a long way. I'm sure you have. Take a seat.
You do so, and Jan leaps up onto the counter. Glander seems amused rather than alarmed by the creature. How much is ale?
2 gold pieces, and it's the finest in town. Well, it's the only ale in town. I make sure of that.
Buy a mug. You put down 2 gold pieces down on the countertop, and Glandragger pulls a mug of beer. It is warm, frothy, and deeply refreshing.
Glandragger smite. You look like you've been on the road a while.
You have no idea. Glandragger nods. Tell me about this village.
No more to say. What you see is what you get. This place keeps going because it's the only route between Kaure and Kontopani. If one of the mountains falls or the river freezes over, then this place will be a desert in 2 weeks.
I'm headed for Kaure myself.
Of course you are. Didn't I just tell you that?
What can you tell me about it?
Kaure. I love the girl from Kaure.
Oh my god, this is the Skyrim speech.
Kaure. I loved the girl in Kaure once. It is a town for love, you know. I have to live every day like it's your last in Kaure, because the chances are high that it will be. Now, there's a city of thieves if there ever was one.
I'll survive. Good for you, he replies with a nod. Suppose the worst that happened to me once. There was a broken heart in the end. Glandragger goes back to wiping down his bar, and then a thought occurs to him. You'll be passing through Torapani, I suppose. The Svinns in Torapani are normally a merry lot, but they're pretty depressed at the moment. There's a real gloom about the place. What's the matter with them?
Oh well.
He thinks for a moment and then waves whatever was at the tip of the tongue. I'm sure there's nothing that concerns you. From the counter, Jan issues a loud burp. He has been sipping ale from puddles from the bar top and is now quite drunk. Oh god. Wake him. You poke the little creature who clamors boozily at up your finger, but then topples off onto the... Leave him there if you like. I'll pick him up and put him in a mug. But you don't quite manage it. At the last moment, Jan rouses himself and flies wobblingly back into your shoulder. I love you, he whispers into your ear. Let's see if we make it into an inn. You head out of the tavern. Hey, Randy. You head out of the tavern and turn a corner to a group of girls standing by a signpost pointing the crystal waterfall. They are tripping up their elders as they pass and giggling. Ask them about the waterfall. You stop by the group and ask them about the waterfall, but they are too distracted by Jan, whom they delight in by poking, tickling, and generally cooing over. After a few minutes of asking them about the waterfalls, you give up and walk away. One of the girls calls back, "Come back!" Another shouts, "The water is good for you." Jan sighs, already missing the attention, but comes back to you, resting your shoulder. You leave the girls to their snickering. Let's see, let's visit the waterfall. You go back, past the girls, up and head up a path that climbs through the crack in the mountainside. Soon the air is filled by a thundering. It is quite a climb, but eventually you turn into a corner through a narrow cleft in the rocks and catch your first glimpse of the natural waterfall plunging down from the cliffs overhead. Large crystal stalactites hang down on either side of the water. There is only one path to reach it, winding up the rock face, and it passes by a small hut where a ruffian is collecting money.
Let's make him depressed. Oh, that means he was already. Let's try something else. Let's see if there's anything else we can cast. I guess the dude was just already depressed. No. Create stench. Yeah, let's cast a stench. Come on! There has to be something interesting. I don't want to have to pay. Let's cast a spell. Let's see if there's something. So there is illusion of treasure. Let's see. But nothing happens. I guess I just can't do anything. Oh, I think I need the flute. Ask Jan to scout ahead. We just won't use. Why don't you scout ahead? Find if the waterfall is worth the money. All right, but I'll be quick. Don't think you can get rid of it. Flaps away. Greet the ruffian. You make a greetings. You collect a fee for the waters. I do. Sneezes the ruffians. These waters cannot be so healing that he has not caught an awful flu from them. 3 gold pieces. There's a buzzing at your shoulder as Jen returns and says, "It doesn't look like much to me," he whispers. "I think you'd be wasting your gold if you paid." I'm gonna turn back. The waters are healing, the ruffian explains quickly. They'll do more than make you clean. I'll haggle. I'll give you 2. All right, 2 gold pieces, but don't tell anyone I did it. All right, let's pay. All right, let's go to the waterfall. You head up at the waterfall, which cascades forcefully into a deep pool. You strip off your clothes and dive into the pool, while Jan flutters through the froth. The cool water is fresh and invigorating, and now you feel yourself getting rapidly better. You feel a huge swell of confidence. Coming here was the best decision you've made. Now you can move on, ready for the night. We're gonna sleep by the waterfall. Let's eat something. Oh, fuck. One of these things again. You pull out some of the provisions you ate and quickly, blah, blah, blah. Perhaps a few hours, it turns a wolfhound. Let's see what we can cast. No, that's a lot. No, I don't want to cast big. What about... Oh, I don't have jig. Let's hide. You stay low, but the hound must have picked up your... No! Not what I meant to... Let's eat something. Let's hide. And then let's attack by surprise.
And I'm gonna go full force. There we go. He's dead. The wolfhound creeps towards you, jaws dropping and fur shining wet. It will not listen to reason. You charge headlong as a wolfhound weakly opens its jaws to bite. You plunge your blade between its teeth and all the way down to its heart. The wolf howls, a gurgling, blood-soaked sound, and then it dies. Excellent. Sleep. Hell yeah. Then once satisfied, you lay down again and try to sleep. Jan flutters down and resettles on your dreams are filled with walking with peaks and valleys and endless paths. A curious light plays across them, building walls to heights before ruining them as it moves away. The rest of the night passes silently. Okay. I mean, we're almost at Kare, which is, I think the first one. So, I think we can just make it to Kare and then stop. You rise early. But before we do that, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go take a break, get some water. So give me a second. And we're back. Okay. Love the chat. Alright, we're at the home stretch here for Kare. And I think it's that'll be the end for the first chapter, so. You rise early from your spot beneath the tree. As you gather your things, Jan leaps up and onto your shoulder. Ready to go? You pass through the village, which is now as quiet as the grave.
and rejoin the path on the far side of Biritanti. The sun sits on the horizon like a gleaming jewel. If all goes well, you will reach Torapani today, the last village in the Shamutani Hills. After a short climb, the path breaks, heading uphill to the left and downhill to the right. Choose a path. With Torapani so close, it'll hardly matter which way you go, surely. So there is the start of the waterfall, and then there's this. Like they said, it doesn't matter, but there's like a hut here. But I think I would rather go this way. Like, I want to see what's up here. We go left. You decide. Good choice. Good choice, Jan replies. The path slopes gently downward, through shrubbery forest, and across patches of dry, weary earth. The Shamutani Hills are relatively verdant compared to the backlands, and beyond the Jabaji River, and you can see the influence of desolation already creeping into the soil, like a spreading infection. Then as you crest a rise, a powerful, pleasant smell reaches your nostril, and you see off to your right a path through a field of beautiful black flowers. Ask Jan about it. Who knows, who cares? Chirps a Minmite, dancing around the shoulder impatiently. This is the shortest path to Torapani. Do you want to get there or not? Good luck with that. You clear your mind and ignore the smell rising from already the spout. Do I have sus? Yes, I do. Sense danger. You weave the spell, but already feel yourself weaken. Janshik's very sorry to have to tell you, but there's no point turning your magic while I'm around. I've heard Minmites and magic don't miss. Yeah, I've been trying to stream more. I haven't had the time to stream as much, but I'm trying. At least maybe twice a week. You weave the spell, but although you feel yourself weaken and nothing happens. Fuck it. We got the ape. The smell of the blossoms gets sweeter as you move further. It makes you feel giddy and lightheaded. You start to skip and join a merriment. It's like your head is swimming. Use my nose plugs. They fit very well. Walk through the field. The field is wide and thick with flowers and beautiful enough in a sombre way. Then halfway in, your foot crunches on something. Jan on your shoulder giggles at the sound and begins to pull at your earlobe. You bat him away. Look down. You stop to look down. There is a bone under your foot. Human arm bone. And next to it, a skeleton. The skull has flowers between its jaws. Something is very wrong here. You keep going. The far side is in sight. Jan begins to totter. He slips from your shoulders and catches himself and flies back up and then slips again. What's the matter with you? Nothing, the creature replies, spinning in the air with a blur of flickering wings. I've never been so happy. And then he plunges in between the flowers and is gone from look for him. You pause root for root, and doing so, one of the look for the nose plugs. Let's leave. You lie back amongst the blossoms. Go. You gather a few flowers and squeeze the sap from them as droplets into your eyes. Run. You stretch out, inhaling deeply the black lotus's soulful aroma. What's my fate? Cool. Go on through the field. Use my nose plugs. Walk on through the field. Keep walking. Ignore him. Leave him. Okay, it is a perfect moment to leave him, so you lengthen your stride. You clear the other side of the field unharmed. You take the nose plugs out and continue unharmed your way. Everything is suddenly very quiet. Well, he's fucking dead. He's dead. It is now late afternoon. You pass over the brow of the next hill, and below you is the village of Torapani, flung from one side of the valley to the next like a flood barrier. Observe it. Torapani is a village of the Svin, an aggressive-looking race of man-orcs. You might expect their village to be rowdy, but it seems strangely quiet. Still, there's no way around it. You will have to go through. You enter the village. There is a definite air of depression hanging over the place. The Svins are going about their business, slowly and miserably, and pay you no heed. You sit yourself down on a tree stump in the very center of the village to consider your options. Let's make contact with the villagers. You spy a group of Svins sitting outside a low hut, and you walk over it and sit yourself down. They are discussing a friend, apparently killed in the night by an assassin's curved blade. Is that why you're all afraid? We are afraid of nothing, retorts one of the Svin furiously. But no, much worse. Another Svin bangs his hand down on the table. But with Ersh there, who say Tia? Who is Tia? Our flower. The Svin who answers wipes a tear from the corner of his eyes, scratching himself painfully with an uncut fingernail. Tia is Chief's daughter, the other Svin says. Ish was to save her. Now Ish not alive, so Tia soon not alive. I'll save her. You? Replies Svin. You thin and weak, not even green. Well, alright, we're gonna just assume things about me. Okay. Trouble is, says another, our village die if chief line dead. End. Tia is end. So if ends end, we end. All very sad. Very sad, they all agree. Who you? One asks suddenly. As if only thinking of it, he prods you on the chest. I'm just gonna say warrior. Warrior. Warrior! A sudden gleam enters the biggest one's eye. Great warrior, the greatest. Best is good. Miki, Tifa. Oh, we got, Tifa in the game. He signals to the others, who are quickly to their feet, big hefty arms swinging for you. We take to chief. Before you can resist, they have you and are hauling your bodily onto their shoulders. Wait and see what happens. You hold your tongue and wait to see where they're taking you. You pass through the village. Several Svins watch you from doorways and windows, their faces silent and somber. You murmur blessings, other maybe curses, as you pass. Then you reach a low hut on the end of the village. You are set down carefully. Captured. The door is slammed and locked. A moment later it reopens and your possessions are thrown inside. Wait to see what happens. Oh, that was okay. Hold on. Let's eat something. Okay. You pull your knees up to your chest and wait. The long watches of the night pass slowly, and in the end, nothing happens and no one comes. Daybreak. Let's see. Daybreak. You are still alone. An hour passes before you hear any noise outside. And then the door to the hut opens, and 5 Svins come in. They drag you roughly out and across the street to another hut, where an old man with gray hair sits. He is wearing outlandish, colorful robes. My name, Procius Chief, slaps his chest twice. I apologize. Then he bows, brushing the dust on the floor from his sleeves. Apology accepted. Chief nods, and he waves to a menial who brings in bread and milk. Eat it. I have need of you, your strength. I'll help if I can. Tell me. I shall. My daughter, my child, she is taken, offered to a terrible demon below. You want me to rescue her? I'll do it. Okay. He gestures to the other Svins who are still not grabbing you by the arm and haul you to your feet. Crack in the ground. You are led a short pathway to the forest to a crack on the ground. One Svin has brought a rope and another a basket. They are preparing to lower you down to the pit of the earth itself. Take the adventure. Why the fuck not? You wait until they are ready. Then they step into the basket. The chief nods to you with respect. Watch the darkness, he declares as they start to lower you down. You hit the floor with a thud and peer into the darkness. Your eyes can make nothing, but a slight breeze suggests an endless space in all directions. You are blind, helpless, trapped. Something clatters to your feet above. One of the Svins shouts something below. You crouch down and feel your feet until your hand closest on the base of something. You pick it up. It is a dry wood torch. Something else forms a ball and strikes you on the head. Tinderbox, calls the voice. Rubbing the bruise on your head, you reach down and find a tinderbox. Light the torch. Continue. Alright, let's continue. You can see now you are inside a large cavern, wide and deep. At the far end of passageway, disappear to the left and right. Through an uneven rockfall at the end of the cavern, you hear a murmur. Listen by the rocks. You chamber over to the rocks, the end of the formation, investigate the sound. Is it whimpering coming from one side of the Sven girl, perhaps? She came in this way, but the cave-in blocked off her path. You will have to find another way to... Let's go right. The passage rises up to an incline. Atop a thick crystal seam glitters in the torchlight. The tunnel ends in a T-junction. The seam seems to be made of pure diamond. It was no doubt in quest of this that these tunnels were carved. But why is no one mining here? Let's take out the crystal. Okay, so let's turn left. Here the cave system widens. Pendulous stalactites hang from the ceiling as if to fall and skewer you in place. You skirt between them, following a thin safe until it opens to the right. Go right. You take the right-hand tunnel, and after a few moments, a low rumbling. Wait and see. Oh, is this like an Indiana Jones trap? You wait and see what happens. Then the rumbling gets loud, and then your hair stands on end as you see a large rounded boulder rolling swiftly down the passage towards you. The rock is almost a perfect fit for the tunnel, and its speed is increasing you to dither. Let's see, let's use Matt. What can we do? Bow? No, that's not gonna do anything. Gum. Requires a let's... You enchant the vial of glue quickly and then fling the vial at the passage in front of the boulder. Will it hold? Sweating with anxiety, you watch the boulder roll over the sticky path. And hold fast. The breath of a huge sigh of relief, but your spell will not last long. So you better move on. Let's go right. This part's very confusing. You move through the opening on the right wall. The passageway slopes down to the short way. 2 stones are stacked on top of one another, and they'll examine the stones. There is nothing special about this stone except that they happen to be on top of the other. Go straight on. The cave floor is an inch deep of water, dripping. You push open the door slowly, then catch clicks, and some ominous rumbling start. Behind you, a wall rising from the stone floor to seal off your escape. Go into the room. Let's see. You cast an enchantment quickly, and a thick force field forms around you, protecting you and your belongings, and most importantly, providing you with air. The water closes above your head, and then after several moments, begins to drain away. You are gently deposited back on the ground. The ceiling wall behind you reopens, and the door shuts. You head back to the previous junction, almost as if nothing happened. You have been lucky, very lucky indeed. You return to the flooded chamber where the side passage breathes, a gentle wind to the left. Go straight on. This kind of sucks. You take the right hand tunnel. You're back in the thinly... Alright. Okay, you follow the passageway when you hear an echo of a whimpering coming up the corridor. The toward light in the frail shape, hiding in the shadows, is a young spin girl, stacking stones into hundreds of little towers. Come with me, you hold out a hand. We'll have to be quiet, she hisses, or else. Suddenly, there's a loud roaring from the mouth of the short cavern. The walls begin to shake and crumble, and the spin stone towers topple and scatter. To one side, a gap in the rumble begins to open, letting through a mean shaft of light. But before you can head for it, the roaring sound is joined by a scream from the Sven girl. You turn slowly and peer into the gloom, back along the tunnel. Is there something moving? Something coming closer? Perhaps the roaring is the wind rushing through the tunnels. Something is coming. You hear the rambling sound of claws on the rock. An exit from the tunnel, and is blocked by a dark, looming shape. A manticore, huge, terrible. It stands between you and the light, and howls in bloody rage. Let's see.
Let's see what's available to us. Creates win? No. Hep? Causes strength. No. 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 I think force field is kind of pointless when you're like about to fight something. Let's see what I can do with the D. Dumb causes clumsiness. Causes slowness. Dump. Yeah, let's do this. You cast a spell quickly, but the creature it makes a half turn preparing to swing its tail at you. But then it pauses and shakes its head, and the old man's face beneath the mane crumbles into a frown. It is as though something has struck it square in the forehead. You have slowed it down. If you draw your sword now, you will have an advantage. Or you will have your game... I'm gonna draw my sword. Holy shit, it has a lot of HP. I'm gonna go halfway. Oh, son of a bitch. The manticore moves forward slowly. You breathe a sigh of relief to see your spell have some effect on the creature. The spin girl screams out in alarm. The vicious creature has wounded you and it growls. Alright, fine. The creature snarls and snaps its jaws. You must finish this monster before it finishes you. With the rock wall at your back, you have no way to hide, but a perfect platform to spring forward. You race at the manticore, just as it swings its tail, like a hammered stroke. As it rears, you push your sword up onto its exposed belly. The manticore shifts away and opens its wide jaws, which look so human but contain an impossible number of teeth. Each one dripping with a mixture of blood and saliva. Let's defend. Not defend. Okay. The spin girl thinking of scratching the creature with her claws. It's scared, she whispered. You might not believe me, but you scared it. Alright, let's fucking go full force. In the darkness of the cave, it's hard to read the monster's intentions, but you cannot wait. Charging forever, you rush into the manticore, easily catching it in a light blow. Let's defend. Here we go. Alright, let's... The manticore laughs at you with a human expression of twisted joy. You risk an attack. Hold on. Let's pray for healing. Alright, the ape has graced us with healing. The ape is good. Ape is good. So let's defend. Gonna defend. Alright, I'm gonna go 5. There we go. You spy an opening, and in a battle to the death, openings cannot be wasted. Standing firm, you swing a mighty stroke against the monster, catching the manticore, passing a cut. So I'm gonna... There we go. I'm gonna go maybe a 5. There we go. Ooh, okay. You must kill this creature. Dropping your weight, you chop this. This is the boss fight. Dropping your chop, a heavy oh god. You can hardly dare to hope. The foul beast is weakening. Let's go full force. Fuck yeah. He's almost dead. I'm gonna defend. No. Yeah, well, let's fucking cut him. Oh, we're almost there. Standing firm, you swing with a fearsome strike against the monster. Just as the manticore charges at you, you catch it rearing up and exposed. The manticore screams and howls in a voice that is almost human. It is dying, slowly, furiously, but nonetheless, it weakens. The manticore gnashes its jaws, readying itself for the taste of your bones. Go for its throat. Fucking full force. I'm gonna defend. Yeah, I wasn't gonna be able to. And fucking go for it. We killed it! You try something. Back against the rock, you deliver a mighty stab at the creature. Your sword blade seems to be possessed. It finds its way past the manticore's sweeping claws, through its thick hide and down to its ancient, cruel heart. For a moment, it howls loud enough to make the wall shake. And then everything falls very silent. Continue. The only noise in the chamber is the hammering of your heart and the quiet breathing of the Spin Girl. Thank you, the Spin Girl murmurs, then tugging at your arm. This way. She leads you towards the light, through a gap of the rocks, to the pool of sunlight in the first cavern. Escape. Girl, call your father. The Spin Girl nods mutely, then bawls at the top. Proteus, I'm here. Then something drops, a rope with a basket at the end. Get in together, the chief will pull you. Get in. I'll let her go first. You step into the basket and help the girl in the chamber. Ready? The spins begin to pull. The rope stretches and grows taut, but the basket doesn't move. The rope starts to make a squealing noise. Then you step out of the basket and call up. Fall away! The spins give a great cry and pull again. This time the basket starts to slowly rise. Then she is gone. Wait. Let's wait. You wait a little longer, settling down on your back. You can imagine the celebration going above the ground, the tears and the grateful reunion. No surprise that they lose track of you, down here in the dark. Then, sure enough, the basket and the rope tumble down. You clamber quickly in, and they haul you up. Above the ground, Chief himself helps you into the grass, his daughter with him. My daughter tells you fight bravely. For that, I'm grateful. I invite you with us back to Arpani. Will you come? I could use a bit of rest. A little generosity cannot hurt you. You not. I will come. As you enter the village, it erupts in celebration. You are given a place to stay and recuperate from your long journey. Let's fucking go! We're back to 20 stamina. A visit from the healing priest treats your wounds, and when you emerge, it is to find the village, before so somber, silent, now full of life. Flowers are tied to every rooftop and bands of spins are playing music. You are whisked away into the dance by Proteus' daughter before the chief can welcome you to the feast. The night is glorious. That night you sleep heavily and rise in the morning to continue your journey. The chief meets you. My good friend, you have saved us. He presses 2 gifts in your hand. A pouch of 10 gold pieces, a fortune for a place like this, and a key. This opens the south gate of the Kare. He tells you, I hope it is use. Time to go. You take your leave, the path winds from Torapani, and soon you're on a downward slope, away from the Shamutani hills. through steep rice fields. As you walk, you feel for the first time the loneliness of the path ahead. Though Kare is a busy city, it is cruel, and beyond Kare, there is nothing but a vicious wasteland. You will have no one to trust in the days ahead. Walk on. In the distance rises the wall of a great city, the first true stonework you have been since you left home. And that marks the end of the first chapter.
Your journey through Shamutani Hills is completed. Along the way, you have made no useful friendships, but have been given the key to the gates of Kare. You have collected a large number of magical artifacts: nose blocks, 4 pebbles, 1 giant's tooth, and 4 goblin teeth. You are armed with a broadsword and your original sword, and you have 2 rations and 12 gold pieces and a spell book. The adventure continues in Sorcery 2, Kare, City Port of Traps. Out now! Save the cloud. Alright, that's cloud save spell name. I'm gonna write that down. I had like 20 pence. Okay, hold on. I mean, I can just open, like, I can just open Notepad. That's not a big deal. It's BY Sally, right? Let's see here. By Sally. Okay. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna put it in downloads. Sorcery password. There we go. Okay. Continue. Hold on. All right. Well, that was something for sure. Well, thank you for all who hung out. I hope this introduction was pretty fun. And if you're watching the VOD, I hope that I will be able to stream the next chapter pretty soon. Maybe well, today's Friday, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Might do an art stream tomorrow, might not, might do something different. We'll see. But for now, thank you everybody for hanging out. I hope this was fun. And I will walk you guys out. All right. Have a wonderful night, everybody. And I will see you next stream.